Hello, and welcome back to Ant's Gaming Suite. This is your host Anthony back with another new world. Hope you guys have been doing fantastic, and we have the biggest new world update for the month of November. A whole bunch of things that will be introduced into the game, a whole bunch of fixes, a whole bunch of balances, weapons, new meta that's going to be hitting after today's patch, which ends in about 3 hours. So keep your keep your computer on and get ready to play for it. But anyway, before we jump straight into it, make sure you guys hit that like, hit the subscribe, and also leave a comment down below whether you guys are going to be jumping on the new meta that we'll be discussing shortly. Hello, and welcome back to Ant's Gaming Suite. This is your host Anthony back with a new world video. Today is going to be the discussion about November's biggest AGS update for the month. We are talking about the new Void Gauntlet, which I have covered previously in terms of the skill tree. We have new enemies, we have new balances, and a whole bunch of bug fixes that we will go straight into it as of this video. However, I will make a separate video regarding to weapon balances just to try and keep the video a little bit shorter and a little bit more entertaining. But before we jump straight into it, make sure you guys hit that like. A lot of viewers as well, please make sure you hit the subscribe, and also leave a comment section down below on what you guys think about this new update. So first things first, new weapon, the Void Gauntlet. So the Void Gauntlet has pretty much manifested in PTR. It's finally made its debut as of this patch and will be coming into the game in a public server across all the global servers. As I mentioned already in the previous video, there is 2 skill tree, Annihilation and DK. It is primarily going to be focused based on intelligence, followed by secondary as focus. However, keep in mind that there are certain skills within these trees that do require focus attributes over the intelligence for it to be more, effective in terms of healing and whatnot. But I will be making a updated in terms of PvP guide in the future once I get this Void Gauntlet and whether it is going to be better or not. So this is pretty much a cool looking wallpaper, and then we have our new enemies that they are going to be introducing into the game, which I think is absolutely amazing. They are known as the Varangian Knights. Hopefully I pronounced that correct. They are pretty much raiding southeastern Anthem. They are led by the Lord Commander Atalas, a girl with reputation for brutality and twisted sense of humor. I'm guessing this guy is going to be one of the bosses as well that's going to be introduced into the game. Their goal is to secure magic weapons that will help their lord in his conquests. While these fearsome warriors have scouted, and pretty much they will include a heaver, a scout, a knight, an archer, and that is pretty much it for this particular new mobs that will be introduced into the game. If I remember correctly, they will be available, or you can find them I believe in Monarch's Bluff. So anyway, some more changes that's going to be happening for some world experiences. Starlight Zone visual variety and improvements. We have some Urza Forge has been updated and moved from Armline Temple to Southwest Windswood. So that's pretty much our quest line where you have to craft, I believe, one of your Azov staff. I don't think it's number 2 or 3, I don't remember. That's pretty much happens. But the most important one that we need to really look into right now is this movement speed. So run faster on roads. While running on the roads, you will now receive a movement speed bonus of 10% while traveling on roads. The movement speed bonus will not trigger unless the player has been running for 3 seconds and they are on the road. The movement bonus will be cancelled if the player engages in combat in any way, such as dodging, blocking, attacking, or being hit with a debuff. The move speed is not active while players actively engage in wars, output rush, or duels. So keep that in mind. I think this is a really cool benefit. If you are following the road, you will get a 10% speed boost bonus. I know a lot of people are complaining there is no mount. How do I get this point faster? I don't have any as of such and such. So this is a pretty good addition to it. They have finally added in a 10% luck bonus for anything in terms of monster or opening chests. You will get that bonus as well as a 30% gathering luck bonus to players who are flagged as PvP. So if you're a level 60 and you've been zerging a lot in Scorch Mine, Mangled Heights, Merc Guard, Sirens at Reekwater, I believe these are going to be turning into a very PvP sausage fest, I'm telling you right now. Because, you know, everyone was going to get that 10% bonus. Everyone wants that 10%. That is actually a lot. That's literally equipping a full 5 set of void armor to even try and get 10%. And this is going to be a huge incentive for players to really jump into PvP. And I think this is a great way to try and incentivize players to try and this PvP option out. However, this will be a huge pain, I'm telling you right now, if you're trying to look for a party and trying to get your gear score up. And, you know, it might be a little bit difficult in terms of if you want to farm monsters, but if it is chests, it will be okay. Okay, we're leaving that there. Some notable fixes, we will leave that out for the time being. They are introducing some new quests. These are some solid confirmations. So new PvP faction missions. There is control points. So you seize the control of the fort. There is intercept. Defeat enemy faction members and collect tiers. And war camp loot. Retrieve hidden plans at the enemy war camp. So those are the 3 new PvP faction quests that will be introduced into the game. They've also updated several quests in the main storyline to improve player experience with compelling dynamic, including wave encounters, destructive objects, and proximity tracking nodes. So these are just some more variety in terms of quest loading, and just to make your experience a lot more fun, more enjoyable as a player. And I don't have anything against that. I think this is a good direction, trying to keep this quest and trying to have this flow of story for it, because there are people who are very interested in gaming lores, and you know, it's pretty interesting if you read into the characters. I for myself is not like that, but nonetheless. Update the location of one of the survivalists at Wolf Den quest in First Light to reduce the amount of travel. The encounter design has also been updated to wave event in all 3 starter zones. Some notable changes: faction rank 2 quests are now offered at level 20, but are still recommended for level 25 plus. So originally it was level 24 for you to even able to complete the quest or obtain the quest. Return to in-keep quest now rewards a proper amount of Azoth. And we'll just leave that for now. That is pretty much some of the notable designs or notable quest changes. If you guys want to look into deeper, this is pretty much it. So some world tech, notable bug fixes: certain AI spawns, fixed an issue with town projects failing to refresh. PvP experience bonus will no longer apply when in an expedition. Okay, so if you're on PvP flag, expedition will not count, so keep that in mind. Moving on to some combat and AI. These are going to get some really interesting things going to be happening. So first things first, consumables. Fix a bug that allowed well-fed buff to stack from different tiers and types of food. The most recent instance of the buff will now replace any previous versions. So you won't be able to stack any of your well-fed buff and all that from a different version. So that's all been fixed. Fix the bugs that prevent weapon coating items from being consumed properly when used. Gear perks: increased scaling of leeching perks on rings and weapons from range of 0.5 to 1.5, and then damage converted to health on hit to 125%. Increased efficiency of freedom, Vega, and invigorated debuff reduction from 3 to 5% based on gear score of 3 to 8. And a whole bunch of other things. Increased poisoning, all those rendering and dot damage will be pretty much from a range of 3 to 7, so an increase in range, so that is pretty good as well. Equipment load: increase the healing bonus of light equipped load from 20 to 30%, and increase the healing bonus for medium equipped load from 10 to 15. So if you're, this is pretty much healing output, so there's just going to be an increase in output if you are wearing this light equipped or even a medium equipped. So keep that in mind. You're going to be healing a lot faster, trying to prevent those paladin builds from happening. Alright, navigation updates, we are gonna skip that. Some duels: fix an export by preventing gathering while in duels. Attribute threshold bonus: this is something that's really important in terms of attributes, especially for intelligence and constitution, I believe. So reduce damage reduction provided by 250 constitution bonus from 80 to 60%. So that's a huge reduction. So you're gonna be that extra 20% damage dealt for the player will be pretty hefty. Fix the bugs that cause a 2050 constitution bonus cooldown to trigger on a block hit. I never was really aware of that, to be honest. And 250 strength bonus was active. Fix the bug that was preventing players from dodging counting out of attack. Dodge: fix an issue causing two-hand melees and magic staff dodge rolls have a smaller invulnerability window. Some war things: so most important thing, war and outpost rush. War structures are immune to buffs and debuffs that logically wouldn't affect the siege weapon and deployable structures. Disable players' collision on Inferno traps, made it so players can't deal damage to other players with weapon abilities through fort gates. Outpost Rush reduced the power of Battle Bread from 15% damage and offensive and defensive 5% damage and defense. So pretty much that's the Battle Bread for PvP. Reduce the damage reduction to the Baroness buff from 25 to 15% and reduce the damage and defense on Commander 10 from 5 to 7.5 to 15. Alright, notable bug fixed Backstab, which is a sword weapon, fixed a bug that could cause backstab to trigger when attacking players from the front. And cooldown timers, We will go to weapon at a later stage tomorrow. However, I can say the least now is that musket is going to be the new meta with a huge variety of increases to the changes. Alright, so stay tuned for tomorrow's video regarding the weapon, some general AI stuff, new lost enemies. So they introduced shamans, alligator pets, beetles, and swarmancer. I'm guessing they're kind of like a necromancer. In Corrupted Village update, strong Corrupted Laborers has to put down his pickaxe and pick up some weights, now looking larger than ever. Villagers have their attack sets reviewed and work to better differentiate them. Bugs and AI fixing, they fix corruption portals. Outpost Rush, fix some bear attacking the wrong gate, invasions, some changes to ancient mages, pretty much minor changes to a lot of mobs across the areas to improve their mobility rates. Expeditions, so Amron Expedition, Simon Grey, adjust Simon's affixes to always be the same static effects between each spawn. So depths, if you're doing depths, so that is the second expedition that you can pick up. They fixed a whole bunch of things in terms of loot and monster respawning, VFX effects, Dynasty mainly. So there's several changes that's going to be happening to Dynasty in terms of fix here. There's a whole bunch of bugs that they're going to be fixing from Empress and Isabella's pet and the Commander Chen. Garden of Genesis, Lazarus, a lot more fixed, which is great. You know, I think this is a good improvement in terms of the direction that they're going to. Arena bosses, Avarice and Banes, fix an issue that allow Avarice minions to drop loot and reduce the mortal size of Banes. Okay, so economy, progression, and loot. So originally in PTR, it's 60 days reduction in terms of when you can change a faction. So if you are currently in Syndicate faction and you want to make that change to your friend's faction, there will be no longer the 120 days wait, which is essentially 3 months. You only have to wait 2 months. Repair kits pretty much weigh now 0.1. Let's see, in terms of the economy, all train posts have been linked, so they're going to be unified. So this is the one thing that a lot of people have been discussing about. You know, a lot of people mention it this way. So you would buy from Windward, you would sell in Neverfall, because you know the margins were slightly a bit better. But now that all chain posts be linked like they should, I don't know what. For me personally, I think this is the better way to do it. I think from all the MMOs that I've played, I don't remember one that hasn't been really independent. I think this is probably the first one that I can definitely recall. Correct me if I'm wrong, if there are any other MMOs out there that do have a game that pretty much the trading post or auction house is very separate. So everything's been unified. It is no longer possible to place items on trading posts for 28 days. The maximum is now 14 days. I don't know why that was there for the first place, to be honest. Most things would be sold within 14 days, if not even 3 days. Reduced distributed loss from PvP deaths by 10%, which is pretty good. This will encourage a lot more people to PvP more now, since that your item durability will not be a costly amount. Reduce the quantity of honey gained from apparatus, which is pretty much the carts and all that. Housing tax are now due every 7 days instead of every 5 days. No change to cost, so players will gain 2 days of housing time without an increase to the taxes. This is pretty cool. I don't even know why it was 5 days, to be honest. It should technically be on a weekly basis if they had originally done that. So I don't know if that's something that they came up with the wrong idea, or I don't know what they were thinking, to be honest. In terms of progression, this is gonna be a huge one, guys, because honestly, reduce territory standing gains from cooking as they were a bit too, I guess, OP. Increase the XP requirements for progressing crafting trade skills. So let's hold this for a moment, okay? So crafting skills, so we're looking at, you know, stone cutting, we're looking at leatherwork, we're looking at weaponsmith, armoring, engineering, and all that kind of stuff. Originally, there was a set XP in terms of what you had to get in order to reach level 200 for everything. But now in PTR, the experience required is pretty much 5 times the fold. This is to encourage players to craft items that are higher level in order to rank up your thing, instead of crafting several thousand of the iron in order to max out your leveling. So there is definitely going to be a lot of new guides I'm going to be making in terms of how do you level your engineering, how to up your armoring and all that, and I'll have a quick look into it. So please do make sure you guys subscribe as well, to stay tuned for those ones. It'll be very interesting to know which items are going to be increasing in XP, and we can have a thorough look into that. So once players unlock a new tier of recipes, iron to steel, the XP required to continue progressing by just crafting things at the previous tier will be significantly diminished. However, it should all still take the same amount of effort to progress the crafting skill if you craft items the highest tier you are capable of crafting. As I mentioned before, it's pretty much trying to incentivize people to use star medals or calcum to make that pretty much item to level it up. So for those of you who haven't pretty much upgraded your crafting skill, you are gonna be having a lot of fun. Trade skills, potion crafting, they've changed a lot of the alchemy. Some of the materials were really impossible to get, like life bloom stems and all that kind of stuff were very hard to get. You wouldn't get them in abundance, so people did not use it. But they are introducing a new crafting material called alkahite, which will be available in the potion crafting updates. I'm guessing it's going to be a lot more accessible and available, which pretty much can craft a whole bunch of potent base for potions going forward, which is pretty exciting. This is going to be the same thing with rare resources from gathering nodes. Even gathering nodes was a really huge, you would get anywhere between 1 to 7. If you had, I guess, extra bonus in terms of proficiency, maybe you get even 14 at most. So they had a look into that one, which is pretty good. With this fix, things like Fey Iron, Void Metal, Phase Fiber, and Petrified Wood should have an appropriate chance to drop. Opening fishing missions now requires 3 allow wood bait instead of 5. I don't know why that needs to be changed, because I think they were pretty easy to obtain if I remember. Some loot rewards added several new name items as special drops from knights found in the world. Knights that are quest targets don't have special drops. Rook's defense tower shield now has a tower shield appearance instead of a kite shield appearance. Added a set of windows designed by the participants of the battle for New World events. These battles are tier 5 and capable of being legendary if they provide a score of 600. A lot more new named item, a whole bunch of orderly fixes as well, some UI fixes, savage repairs, and that is pretty much the end of the huge update that's going to be released shortly, within 3 hours time, I believe. So stay tuned for that one. I will be making another video regarding to all the weapon confirmation. I really didn't want to push it in as much as I wanted to release that video, just because things could change, and this is the right time to do it now. So I'll catch you guys in the next video. Make sure you guys hit that like, hit the subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.